Hello and welcome, online investors. I'm Peter Norman from the Investors Video Network, and today we've got another news release backgrounder to share with you. Cartier Resources just announced high-grade gold discoveries from the East Cadillac property. The discovery confirms a new open-ended 5-kilometer high-grade trend. Joining us to provide more insight is Philippe.Cloutier, CEO of Cartier Resources. Philippe, what's the story behind this release?
Good morning, Peter. Our drill program continues to extend the Val-d'Or mining camp eastwards onto the East Cadillac project. This morning's results are clear. We've discovered a new high-grade gold system within the 28,000-meter drill program. As you'll see, we have near-surface, very significant results. The new system that we're presenting today is at the North Contact area. Again, I'd like to point out that both drills are active on the project. One is continuing the original program to explore high-grade gold targets along the regional Larder Lake Cadillac fault zone. And we have just recently demonstrated an impressive continuity of the high-grade gold discoveries over a 5-kilometer corridor. It starts to the east with the VG10 high-grade discovery. And a few weeks ago, we announced to the west, the East Bateman results. And this morning's release is right smack dab in the middle of those two endpoints, which, just goes along the general theme that we are joining the dots and we're showing that this thing has robustness and continuity. So let me show you what it looks like on a map. So the results this morning are over here, right? Recall that end of August, we announced the results on the VG10, VG9 zone. Just 2 weeks ago, we announced other high-grade results on the East Bateman. And you can see that with this morning's result, 14.7 grams per ton over 4.3 meters within a much broader interval, 20.6 meters wide, that graded 5.2 grams per ton. And then there's two other holes, one that graded 6.3 grams per ton over 4 meters, again, with lower grades, but over a broader interval. And then another intersection that graded 15 grams per ton over a meter. And that is in a wide corridor over the northern boundary of the Cadillac Fault Zone trace. And that's open-ended to the east, and it's obviously open-ended to the west. Recall that end of August, we announced a discovery, a high-grade gold discovery on the VG10 zone. Well, the second machine has currently been mobilized, and it's going to be drilling this 1.5-kilometer trend with 35 diamond drill holes. They're going to be relatively shallow. And then we're also targeting a second zone that was discovered that graded, almost an ounce per ton over a meter. As the holes sweep across the high-grade VG10 zone, they're going to cross the second zone. And we're going to do that several times over the 1.5-kilometer stretch. We've just drill tested the VG10 zone, the North Contact zone, the East Bateman zone, and now the machine has moved over to the Portal zone. We're going to be sweeping across the Bluegrass high-grade system as well. And so there's a lot more news coming from that first machine, and obviously the second machine, which is stationed over here in closer proximity to the Chimo mine infrastructure. Well, that's also going to generate news. So there's a lot more to come in the next weeks. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me, either on my mobile, the office line, or via email. I'm always available to answer your questions.
Philippe, excellent presentation. Your title slide says, extending the Val-d'Or mining camp. Some of the most prolific gold mines in the world are on the western side of the Val-d'Or mining camp. You're on the east side. Would you care to expand a little bit on your tagline?
You're quite right, Peter. I mean, the Larder Lake Cadillac Fault Zone extends over 500 kilometers from Chimo to the east all the way to Wawa to the west. But there's a higher concentration of mines, so to speak, from Val-d'Or to Kirkland Lake. And that's only because there's been a lot more work and a lot more frequency of work conducted over the last 100 years in that part of the world. Now, we were able to assemble a huge land package just east of that, all along the Cadillac Fault, and that's the first time that's ever been done in 100 years. And we're only starting to connect the dots between all the historic discoveries on either side, east and west, of the past-producing Chimo mine. So there's a lot more to come, and that's why we're terming, or we're titling this extending the Val-d'Or mining camp to the east.
Phil, you alluded to a second zone south of the VG10 zone. Could you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, indeed. When we announced the discovery of the VG10, VG9 gold structure end of August, one of the holes had been drilled and intersected just south on a new structure that is parallel south of the new VG gold structure in the VG10 area. And we had stopped one of the holes in an area that graded almost an ounce per ton over a meter. Now, the second drill that was brought in is actually focusing about 35 holes over a 1.5 kilometer stretch along the new VG gold structure, but some of the holes are being punched and pushed further south. Indeed, this new structure is showing, at least visually, to be quite impressive. And there'll be more on that in the following weeks.
Phil, Cartier stock bottomed the middle of August. It's now almost doubled since then. Would you care to comment on what you think is driving it?
Yeah, we almost seem to be tracking the increase in the price of gold. Remember that over the summer, we took a smallish break to prepare the second phase. And the minute we started to pump out those results later in August, throughout September, and now in October, we're seeing that the market and the retail is actually appreciating that type of results. And what I mean by that type is near surface, high grade intersections, discovery of new gold systems, and the fact that we're finally getting around to drilling all of this on this recent acquisition of the East Cadillac project. And it's all open-ended. You know, it continues to extend to the east, and we're going to be presenting results west of the shaft in the coming weeks. I think our story continues to attract new investors, and that's all good for us.
Philippe, excellent presentation. To summarize, Cartier Resources' 28,000-meter drill program continues to deliver high-grade gold results with significant near-surface intersections. A new gold system has been identified at the North Contact Center, while 2 rigs explore high-grade targets along the Larder Lake Cadillac zone, showcasing impressive continuity of gold discoveries spanning over 5 kilometers. Phil, the news keeps getting better and better. There's a lot to look forward to, and I encourage everyone to stay tuned for more exciting updates. Thanks for watching, and as we say in Quebec, à la prochaine.
Thank you.